Right?
Yeah, looks very clear.
Okay, and now you'll be able to see the. Let me know once you're able to see the presentation.
Yeah, okay.
You can see
Yes,
the presentation, right?
correct. Yeah,
All right. So as you know, this is going to be over 10 days. Yeah.
yeah.
So I'll just give you an overview of the course, what we're going to go through. This is now, there are two parts of this NetScaler course. This one, specifically this one, the associate. Just to tell you that there is a 200 level course, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a 300 level course. In
Okay.
200 level, we got two courses, which is with the traffic management, okay,
Okay.
which is CNS 2 to 5, which is gonna get changed, okay, and the other one is with integrating VDI,
Okay.
which is the one that we are doing currently, but uh, CNS 2 to 7. So both these course, the first 3 days are the same, okay? Basic.
Oh, yes.
It's only the last 2 days that changes.
Yeah.
In the last 2 days of CNS 227, you'll do traffic management. In the last 2 days of the CNS 227, we will do VDI and gateway. Okay.
Okay.
So we are actually doing CNS 227, and once you're comfortable, you can go with the 300 level course, which is now gonna be just an advanced concept. There is no initial setup. There's nothing, and I will assume that you already know NetScaler when you come if you do the 300 level course,
Okay.
all right? Because in this course we're gonna do the initial setup, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do the basic networking. We are gonna configure the iChain. I'm gonna do the load balancing and SSL offload, right? We're gonna create partitions, and we're going to do the management and monitoring and troubleshooting of the ADC, which is a common one. And to be very honest, uh, when you ask somebody to teach you troubleshooting, no one can teach you troubleshooting. Yeah, we can just tell
Yeah.
you the logic. We can just tell you the concept.
Right.
The the actual learning is going to come from on job.
Clear. Yes.
All right, and then we're going to talk about the gateway. We're going to create app expert policies. We're going to implement authentication. This is going to be a very big one in the sense the whole setup is going to be a little bit uh, tedious. So
Mm-hmm.
do the user connections, manage the user connection, then you're going to integrate virtual apps and desktop.
Okay.
Right? And then we're going to integrate applications in the gateway. And this is the last one is just tweaking the NetScaler gateway, like putting the uh, logos, headings, and stuff like that, making it give it in a more corporate look, right? Okay.
Sorry.
I'm saying the last one is just where you gonna tweak the gateway appearance to give it a
No. Yes.
more
Yes.
corporate look,
Clear. Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
what we're gonna be doing, okay, because it's just gonna be 4 hours a day, right? So I think I'll just give you like 10 minutes break in between.
Okay.
I will do the theory and I'll show you, demonstrate to you also, right? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So you got the day one that we are actually, if you go with the full day, like 8 hours, we are supposed to cover three topics, right?
Okay.
So with the getting started, we'll up an first we will have the demo and the theory, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I will go with that, and we'll also talk about the HA, load balancing, and SSL of load. So the actual you need to pay attention right from here, from basic load balancing onwards, right? Okay.
Yeah. I think I just lost your voice for a minute.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Okay. So this is why you need to pay the attention from here, module number 5, because there you're gonna be creating services, servers, and the VIPs, everything.
Uh, are you sharing screen? Because I don't see anything.
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen.
No, it's not visible at my side.
Is it? Hold on. Gonna share it again.
Yeah, it's visible now.
Visible now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what I was saying here, what we're gonna cover is this. We'll getting started in basic networking in the next 4 hours, right?
Yes.
Which will have theory, and I will do the demo also. Okay.
All right.
This one only has theory. This only module that has theory only. There's no lab. Okay. There's no demo. Okay.
Yeah.
And to HA, I will also show you the HA, and this is where you need to now pay your focus from basic load balancing onwards. Okay.
All
Because
right.
now you get into creating services, creating the whips, creating the and binding it, creating policies thereafter onwards, right?
Okay.
And then we'll do SSL offload where we are going to create SSL certificates
Mm-hmm.
and then do the SSL offload, right?
Okay.
And then this is the last day, which is going to be day 3, where we're going to create. I'm going to show you how to create partitions, right?
Okay.
How to create administrators, how to get uh, your administrator groups extracted from the LDAP or your Active
Mm-hmm.
Directory, integrate the Active Directory from here, right?
Yeah.
And what am I doing from here, from day 1 till day 5? It's all going to be part of the same task. Okay, that means if I'm going to come and tell you, okay, now we need to integrate a CVAD, right? That means all your LDAP, your policies, you have already created from here. Okay, from this part. Are we good?
Yep.
All right, and then day 4 is gonna where I'm gonna be putting in the gateway, configure the gateway, because you will need the gateway for first. You need to create the gateways if you want to integrate any product. You want to integrate Exchange, you want to integrate VDI, you need the gateway first. Now, the gateway can be a feature inside the ADC, or you can have it as a separate appliance.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is where you need to understand app experts and policies. Now, Bashar, tell me how comfortable are you using regular expressions?
No, I'm not aware about it, to be honest.
You're not aware of it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I need something from you here that you should go ahead and read about regex, okay? PDF.
Okay.
Because whether you do Microsoft, whether you do anything, right? Okay,
All right. Yeah.
uh, right, you will need to get this. So please understand the regular expression, read the PDF. For example, you got a PDF here.
Hmm.
So this is for regular expressions. You need to know all these, right?
Okay.
Okay. This is the regex. If you wanna, I will put this link in the chat so you can have a look at it, right? Where is the chat here? Right here. Now, this I'm telling you because maybe later on you would want to go with the not any other web solutions, right? Anything to do with web, anything to do with your controlling the
You're
application,
welcome, brother. Hello.
anything
Yes, yes.
is needed.
You're most welcome.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank
you're
you.
most welcome. And that's what you need to know. Okay, I will tell you in this app expert about the expressions. I'll tell you how even to read the expressions, what we look in the expressions, right? But when you want to create your own, you should have some knowledge on creating the regular expressions because of the variables that's going to be there, right?
Okay.
And this is going to be multi-factor authentication and authorization, all right? Where I might even put show you what you call SAML authentication. So
Hmm.
this tab also you need to pay. In fact, from the module number 5, from load balancing, you have to pay attention.
All right.
All right. And lastly, we're gonna just manage the clients and we're gonna integrate virtual apps and desktop with the ADC. Okay.
Okay.
And just to show you how my demo labs are, I have my backend server. Okay,
Hmm.
which I've got my domain controller on that. I've got LDAP and DNS, right?
All right.
Then I've got the MySQL server.
Okay.
I've got my web servers, red, blue, and green. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this resource servers you can change it to your CVAT, right? And later on, I have my CVAT site where I have my storefront, delivery controller, and a test machine.
Okay.
Okay. So when you come to the web server, it can be your Exchange server, it can be a Apache server, it can be anything, right?
Yeah.
So this is way, and in the front, this is us as the user. You will land onto. I will be opening a Hyper-V VM, and from there I will be able to access my ADC VPX. VPX is one and two, right? Okay.
All right.
You know that ADC has 5 platforms. You have a
Hmm.
physical one and you have a virtual one, right? Just to go with the common ones, we have a MPX and a VPX, right?
Okay.
MPX is a physical box and VPX is a virtual appliance.
Right.
Okay, so if you want to download any of the virtual appliance, you need to know your uh, hypervisor that you're using because you're going to be downloading that file for that respective hypervisor.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So this is what this is the whole course overview of what I'm going to show you. And
Hmm.
yes, questions are most welcome. You can stop me anytime. Okay.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I wanted to ask, like, if I want to download the virtual version of this, how can I?
you want to download what?
The virtual machine or the virtual version of the load balancer
Okay. You want to
VM.
download. Do you have a Citrix account
No, I don't.
from the company?
Nothing as of now. I believe the team needs to create or share one with me.
Okay.
Or you're talking about from my own company?
Yes, from your own company.
No, no. Probably they do have it, but I'm not sure what is the current status. If they still have an active subscription or support account with them. But
Uh,
I'm talking in terms of certification. Like this is official training from Citrix, right? So that doesn't include.
no, it doesn't
Uh,
include any certifications. What you need to
doesn't.
do, I
Yeah.
would
Okay.
advise you that you create a account on your Citrix certification manager.
Okay.
You create an account first.
Okay. Do you need me to do it now, or we can do it later on?
You can do it even later.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can do it later. You just have to go to Citrix Certification Manager and download. But you're asking me that you want to download the load balancer virtual appliance.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was wondering if there is like a trial version or any way to get some, hands-on experience myself, or
You can.
maybe.
That's why I asked you. You need to have a. See, once you log in here, let me show you. There is a site called Citrix Download, right? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you have an account, you can go ahead and download this ADC, right? Netscaler.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Once you click on it, it will tell you that you need to sign in to access the download, right? And
Right.
this is not the one. This is your firmware. We need to download this one here. Netscaler. Let's say this one, for example, 13, right?
Okay.
Okay. Let me. Once you sign in, you will be able to see. Let me just sign in. Hold on.
Hmm.
So once you have an account or you have access to your account, that your company will tell you, right?
Okay.
Or if you have are you using virtual appliance?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're using.
If you're using a virtual appliance, you can just take the VHD. So this is the one that you're gonna download. So let's say you download this virtual appliance and then go down. You see whether you wanna have it for your Citrix hypervisor, right?
Hmm.
Whether it's for your ESXi, whether it's for your Hyper-V, whether it's for your Kali, right? Kali VM,
Okay. All
all right?
right.
So, and yeah, so you need to know which hypervisor you're using and then download that file. You cannot use ESXi file on a Citrix or Hyper-V.
Okay.
So you need to download this, and that's basically it, and then import it uh, into your virtual environment.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
right, sir. So this is I'm gonna get started with this. So this is the first module that we're gonna do, which is module one, getting started. Okay, and we're gonna look at the capabilities and functionalities of the ADC. And before I will start, do you know how the configuration or the flow happens in the ADC?
No.
No. Yeah. Now, for you to even understand ADC, you have to understand the flow. If you don't understand the flow, you will not understand ADC.
Okay.
That is the architecture. If you don't know the architecture of the device, I'm
Hmm.
sorry, you will not be able to go anywhere, right, sir?
Okay.
So I will draw this for you. Do you want me to draw this for you, or should I explain with my existing notes?
Um, Whatever you think is better.
You tell me what you how you,
I mean, it's not necessary to complicate things. Whatever you think, it's a more easier approach to uh, understand. So I'm fine with either of it.
okay. Would you okay? Uh, okay. So I will tell you the whole flow here. Uh, right here. Okay. This is what I have as my notes. Right now, check here. One, yeah, there are certain things that you need to understand with the ADC, that ADC has its owned IP address, right?
Okay.
That means this IP addresses, they belong to the Citrix NetScaler.
Okay. For the management, you mean the IP that is for the management of the appliance itself?
Yes, to manage the appliance, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
and we also got something called subnet IP, right? So the NetScaler IP, NSIP, is used for the system-to-system communication. Subnet IP is to communicate to the backend infrastructure. Cluster IP, if you want to have an active mode, that is, you have more than you have three NetScalers and above, right? Okay.
Okay.
And if you have a branch offices, then you can use a global server load balancing, that is your GSLB, okay? And the virtual IP, which is going to be in the front, facing the public. Okay. So you as a user, you might have configured the content switching, which is facing the public side, which is facing the client side with the public IP, all right? Okay. So I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to take away the content switching server for now. I will just delete this for now. Okay.
Okay.
Now I will take this and say the client is now getting connected directly with the load balancing virtual server, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So the connection stops on the load balancing virtual server. Now in the backend, you have your backend infrastructure that I have a web 1 with the IP address of 192.168.0.1 and .0.2, right?
Okay.
This is the backend server. So now inside the NetScaler, I'm going to create something called server or server objects under the traffic management load balancing servers, right? Okay.
All right. Okay.
This server object will be binded to the backend server with the backend server original IP.
Okay.
Okay. So are we good, sir?
Yeah.
And I can have multiple of them and bind each of their servers to the backend with their backend IP, right? And this server objects right here has to be binded with your services. Now the services can be uh, the services can
Based
be
on the port, I believe, like
HTTP,
83443.
HTTPS,
Yeah. Okay.
TCP, okay, FTP. Uh, it can be your DNS. Those are the IPs, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, and I can create single services or I can create a group of services. That means instead of me having 10 services of the same, I can just create one single service group, and inside that I will have those 10 servers that are going to give me the same service, right?
Okay.
And I will have the monitor binded so that it can go and prop the services and see which services is up, which service is least busy, and it will update the service group, right?
All right.
And this is the subnet IP that is going to communicate to the backend server using the services, right? Okay. And by default, because you have created a VLAN and VLAN is at you have bundled the VLAN with the subnet IP and virtual IP, so directly the virtual IP will communicate with the subnet IP and subnet IP will communicate with the virtual IP, right? So once
Sorry.
yeah,
What's the purpose of the subnet IP here? I mean, like,
subnet IP is to communicate with the backend infrastructure.
so it's going to be whatever subnet that we defined.
Yes.
I mean, we chose to put these server objects. I mean, assign the. It has to be the same
See,
IP, right?
you see, when you say networking, in the networking, I can create subnets, right?
Correct. Yes.
Slash 24 slash 30, 88, 16, right?
Race. Yes.
So what happens is your communication from users gets stopped right here. The user communication is stopped right here on the virtual IP, right? Okay.
Okay.
So let's say just it stops here, right here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the virtual IP sends the information or the request to the subnet IP, and subnet IP is the one that goes to the backend server. The user is not going to the backend server. The user is not going here. Okay. User is not going directly to the server. Okay.
Yes.
This is not happening. Okay. So the user connection is stopped at the load balancing, which is the front here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now the server does not know who is asking for the resource, and user does not know where the resource is coming from. They both are thinking that is NetScaler that is asking us and giving us the response.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah.
So that is why you have the NetScaler in front. Okay.
Yeah.
So the user communicates to the WIP, and the user request stops here, and then the WIP goes to the subnet IP, and then subnet IP communicates to the backend server. And that is happening because we have the services and sub objects binded and sub objects binded to the backend server, right?
Yes. Yes.
Are we good now?
Yeah. If you could just the last part of it. I mean, if you could repeat the whole flow of it once again, please. So
Okay.
from the beginning, from the user, we are going to the load balancer
So
virtual
from the
IP.
user, you hit onto the virtual IP. Now this virtual IP it will be a content switching, okay, in front.
Yes.
So it
Mm-hmm.
stops there, and then the content switching will forward that request to your load balancing virtual IPs, right? That
Yes.
that might be for your exchange, for your VDI. They will be having a virtual IP, right? So virtual IP will communicate over the subnet IP, okay? And subnet
Okay.
IP will see on the services whether you have the services attached or service group attached, and then it will communicate to the backend server object, and the backend server object will communicate to the backend servers.
Okay.
Okay, are we
Yeah.
good?
Yes.
So this is the whole flow, right?
Good. Yeah.
Are we good?
Yes. Yes.
So we're gonna look at the hardware. This was the architecture. We're gonna look at the hardware components, deployment, licensing, ADC setup and configuration, right?
All right.
And this is gonna be the introduction to the ADC. This is a physical box. This is how your
Okay.
physical box looks like. Some models will have fiber connections with Ethernet. Some will just have Ethernet and no fiber. Okay,
Okay.
so it can go from Its throughput can be from 10 Mbps to 250 GB, 260 Gbps, the throughput.
Okay.
Okay. Because if this is going to be like, let's say, 10 gig ports, let's say this is a 10 gig port. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, and 8 here, that is 16. 16 into 10 is 160 Gbps already if you're going to bind all of them together.
Okay.
Okay. And basically, most of the administrators think the ADC is a load balancer.
Mhm.
What do you think? Is it a load balancer?
Uh, I would say it's more like an appliance which has load balancer as well as other capabilities.
Okay, so what is the core functionality of the ADC?
Hmm. No, not sure.
What is the full
Maybe if I sum it up, maybe it's like roughly something to do with handling sessions or the traffic and balancing it, load balancing. I mean, not just the session but the traffic as well, or
right?
something to do with the VDIs.
No. See, what is the full form of a ADC?
Not sure.
It's application delivery controller.
Okay.
It is to manage all your application deliveries, look at the sessions, look at the traffic that's coming in and out of the NetScaler, right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. With that, that is the core functionality. You know the OSI model?
Yes.
So it works from layer 4 to layer 7.
Okay.
Okay. It starts working from layer 3, and it can also do job from layer 2 if you do the bridging.
Okay.
Okay. So the core functionality of the ADC is to deliver application, is to look at the connections, the sessions, and uh, what happens with that is we are able to control the whole traffic that is coming in and out of your network. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And feature of that, they have included load balancing, they have included content switching, they have included WAF also, it's got a firewall also. So those are just features, added features. Okay.
Okay.
So why I'm saying the ADC functionality, it improves your throughput. As I said, it can go up to 260 Gbps throughput. That
Okay.
means to the backend server and to the client, right? Okay. Also,
Okay.
it is increasing the security because it's got an inbuilt firewall, it's got a WAF, it's got the gateway. You can do the routing as well. All right. You can create partitions, you can isolate the network, right? So it can do a lot
Okay.
in terms of security, even authentication it can do for on behalf of the LDAP.
Yes.
And because it can do the coupling and decoupling, because if you as a user is asking for VDI, other users are also asking for VDI, it will not create a separate request or response. It will see whether the response tray is full or not. So that is why it is going to reuse the existing TCP connections. So it will send it
Okay.
as one request to the backend server. Because it's going to send it as a one request. That is why it is going to reduce the server side connections, right?
Okay.
Okay, and this is how your ADC would look like when you're asking us a lot. This is the L7 proxy because it is working as a proxy, so it can also work as a reverse proxy. So you can see that
Okay.
the NetScaler actually works like a TCP proxy
Mm-hmm.
because the user is thinking, I'm getting the response from the NetScaler, okay, and backend server is thinking the request is coming from the NetScaler. So the user and the backend server don't know each other.
Right.
right? So ADC here basically manages everything. Okay, it is sitting in between the client and the server. So you can put this ADC in the DMZ also. And if you want to put another firewall in front, let's say Fortinet or something, you can also put Fortinet in front. You can have a double hops. So where you can have your ADC sit in the behind the Fortinet or Palo Alto or any other firewall or F5, or you can have it in front of it, or you can have the ADC sit in the DMZ, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So your company might say, okay, I want to put this behind Fortinet or F5. That is also possible. All you have to do is then the client will hit the Fortinet, the firewall will forward it to the ADC, ADC to the backend server. So it's like a double hop. Okay.
Okay. So sometimes we hear about, the load balancer working on the layer 7 now. Like, what's the difference there compared to layer 4 to layer 7? Like, some difference of features, or
Sorry.
sometimes we hear from our teams, like they say, no, this is configured to, it's working on layer 7 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, just to understand, like, what's the difference there?
The difference is, if you understand layer 7 is your application layer, right?
Application layer, correct.
That means it is looking after the application and delivering the application,
Mm-hmm.
right, sir? Then you got your presentation layer, right?
Yes.
And then you got your session layer, that okay, this session is valid for 60 minutes or 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then you got your transport layer, right, sir?
Oh,
Which is basically your router.
all right. Yeah.
Then you got your network layer, which is gonna can be your switches, right?
Yes.
Then you got your I think it's the data link layer, right, which is layer 2. And
Mm-hmm.
then you got your physical layer, which means your machines, the NIC cards, right?
Yes.
So when it is working on application layer, that means it is delivering the applications.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So I mean, to ask, like, when it's working on the application level, when they say that it's working on layer 7, does it mean to imply that the load balancing is happening on the application level somehow, or because see, coming from a non, not from this team, I mean, like, from the application side, for me, my application is hosted on servers, and the way I see it, with the example that you already put it here, like, we have the uh, configuration from load balancer pointed to the servers, where on the server, each of the server where we are having the applications. So, to my understanding, the load balancer would redirect the traffic, or send requests alternately to balance the load. But again, in terms of application, does it mean that there is some additional feature where it's where the application is supporting load balancing, or
See, what happens is, if I understood your question, is that is it delivering the applications? Yes, it is basically sending the applications to the users
Mhm.
and from the server, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is why it is controlling the session.
Okay.
Okay. So it works it is delivering the application from the server to the client. That VDI that you're getting, the exchange that you're getting is actually coming from the server into the ADC, and ADC is delivering that. So that is why it works on the uh, uh, that is why it works on layer 7.
Okay. But it's still not very clear to me the concept of the difference between, because regardless we are pointing the uh, sorry, I'm not very well familiar with the terms being used in terms of load balancer, the
It's fine.
objects that we are.
Just use general term. It's fine. You don't have to use technical term.
Yeah, the objects or the component that we are creating, the configuration part on the load balancer is supposed to be pointing to the servers. So the way I see it, we are in the end pointing from one subnet, a load balancer subnet that would be used for publishing, to the servers. That is the regular IP
We are
address of
not
the server.
publishing to the server, sir. We are publishing to the client. Please, yeah, see here.
Yes, yes, yeah. I mean, the end user. I mean, the one who will be accessing it will be the end user.
Yes.
But I mean, whether it is published internally or externally, the configuration part of it seems to be pointing to the IP address of the servers, the backend.
Yes, that is to the from the ADC, not from the client. The client is not going to the backend server.
Okay.
Okay, see here. This is not allowed. This one is not allowed, right? The client going to the backend
Yeah,
server
the
directly.
client is not going directly, it's going through
Yes.
ADC. But eventually it is reaching the server, right? Because
It has to reach
since
the server
Exchange,
because it has to get the application.
yes.
So that is
So,
why you see that is why it is delivering you the application. That is why it works on layer 7, because it goes and gets the application, right? If the ADC did not work on layer 7, then it was just like any other firewall or load balancer. See, sir, you are getting
mm,
media application, you are getting exchange application, right?
correct.
Are you going directly to the server?
No, we are going through the load balancer.
No, no, you're not going through the load balancer. You're going through the ADC.
Okay.
Load balancer is just a feature. It is just to direct the traffic to the server that is not that busy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are actually accessing the application from this ADC, which is working on layer 7, because you are telling the ADC, can you please go and get me my desktop from the VDI, or can you go and open my email, right? From the Exchange server.
Okay.
So that application request is going to the server and is coming to the ADC, and ADC is taking that request and opening that application for you.
Mm, sorry, maybe I'm missing the point here,
Mhm.
because to me it looks like whether it's ADC or load balancer, eventually from the end user to the request is traveling all the way to the server.
It is traveling to the server. Yes, you are right.
Yeah.
It is traveling. Yes. See, sir,
Uh,
this is what I'm saying. This is your subnet IP, which is to
mhm.
communicate to the backend server, right?
Yes.
So this request is going to the backend server. It is going to the backend server. It is just that the user is not going directly to the backend server,
Right.
right? So where is your confusion? That why? How come it is giving me the application?
No, no. My confusion is what's the difference? I'm trying to understand the difference between layer 7 and layer 4.
So
When they
layer
say that this configuration is specifically, working on layer 7, sometimes they say, oh, no, this is not on layer 7.
it works
So
from it is not just working on layer 7. It works from layer 4 to 7.
4 to 7, correct.
It is working from here to application and from application to here. It is working both ways.
Yes.
Okay, because if you did not have a transport layer, then you could not go outside, right? You had to then put a gateway in between.
Right.
You had to put a router, right?
Correct.
Now think 30 years ago, where I had a firewall, I had a load balancer, then I had a router.
Mm-hmm.
So my NetScaler is also doing the job of a router.
Okay.
So that is why it is working from transport layer, which is your layer 4, okay, all the way to application, because it is now delivering the application and taking the request from the application to the backend server also.
Yes.
Are we clear now?
So does that mean like any application that is published through ADC or load balancer here, it is already on layer 7?
Yes,
Okay, then that could be it. I mean, like
by
I was
default.
confused because what I heard from our load balancer team is uh, we have multiple different configurations in place, but for some specific one, now I don't know the details of it in the background, like what's the difference really for the setup. But what I heard from them was like, no, this one is layer 7. So I don't know if they meant that specific setup, or
Yes.
in general they meant to say,
In
uh,
general, what
yeah,
they actually meant, all your application works on layer 7, okay?
okay,
But ADC works from layer 2 to layer 7,
okay,
okay?
got
So
it.
whether you're talking of application exchange or VDI, it is working on layer 7.
Hmm.
But when you talk about the ADC, maybe they meant to say application is working on layer 7, yes, but the ADC starts working from layer 4 to 7,
Okay,
because it is going to work like your router, it is going to work like your proxy, it is going to give you the applications, it's going to take the request from you, it is going to send you the response as well, right?
yeah,
So here, so are we clear now?
yes, yes. So,
Okay. So this is without the ADC, where the client is going directly to the server, right? where the
yes,
where the client is sending a hello packet, and
yeah,
the server acknowledges, the
acknowledge,
client
yeah,
acknowledges,
configure it.
okay, and the client is saying, can you get me exchange? Then the server is sending the data in data. The server will say, I'm done sending you the application. The client will acknowledge, the client will finish, and the server will acknowledge. Now you see, you got for one application, you got 11 transactions happening. This is one, this is two, this is three, this is four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, and 11, right?
Okay,
But
yeah,
for the server, it's only this green that is more important. So uh, for 7 transactions are unnecessary for the backend, right?
right.
So what we are going to do when you put in the ADC in between, this is what happens. So
Hmm.
you are probably sending a request of, let's say, blue server 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right?
Yeah,
Purple server also 5, and so let's say this is now one request going to the backend server for each application, right? Okay, until or unless it sees that TCP uh, TCP connection pool is full, right?
okay,
Only after that it will create a new request to the server, right, sir? So now the server is just going to be sending the data. So this is called coupling, when the ADC is receiving the data, and once the server responds back to the ADC, ADC will send a request to their respected end users, and this is now called decoupling. It has coupled all the requests into one, and once it gets the response back to this from the server, it is going to decouple and send the response back to the respective clients, right? Because the ADC here is now handling the client side, it is steering it down onto the ADC, and it is remembering which client requested for what uh, subject, right? Or which resource.
okay,
Okay.
yeah,
And these are the ADC overview, where it is going to give you a good acceleration, availability, and stability and security, right?
okay,
And this is what happens in the ADC. These are the functional modules inside the ADC. It can do the application compress, it will do the app flow, it will do the application cache, it will do the SSL offload, it can do content switching, it can do load balancing, it can do global server load balancing, it can do a rewrite, let's say from HTTP to HTTPS, from one URL to another URL. It is going to have your WAF, application security. You can do an SSL VPN or a smart access. So it is working on when the client is sending everything, it has the policies that is being sent. It has got the application switching engine. This is where you're getting confused because people are telling you that the application is working on layer 7. Yes, but it is doing the application switching as well, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it goes to the backend server to get you the applications. And these are the features:
Mm-hmm.
application availability, application acceleration, application security, front end TCP, and simple to manage. All right.
Yeah.
And this is another so-called features, more features of load balancing, content switching, app expert rate control. That means you can allow how many times you can access a URL. Maybe 3 times, 4 times. After that, we block it. We block the users, and after some time, it will refresh. It has IPv support. We can create 512 partitions inside the ADC, and every partition can have its own partition administrator, and it will have its own IP tables.
Okay.
So partition one cannot see what's happening in partition two, and partition two cannot see what's happening in partition one.
Right.
And then if you got branch offices or different locations, you can do a GSLB. So that means you can put NetScalers in all your sites and enable GSLB. So okay, between them, right? So this is a load balancing kind of a thing. So if the user is here, he will get connected to the nearest gateway or to the NetScaler or to the data center. And if the user moves to another location, he or she will get connected to the nearest data center. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is the GSLB, Global Server Load Balancing. It works on the concept of DNS load balancing. Are we
Okay.
good, sir?
Yeah.
Then we got these platforms. These are the 5 platforms, and the commonly used ones is MPX and VPX mostly. Sometimes
Okay.
organization uses SDX. So we'll talk about this in module number 3 more. This one and this one are physical box, and this is a virtual appliance. This one works on the Docker, so you need to know Docker to understand this, right? But it is not
Okay.
used in the production.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we also don't use it for testing because for you to do this CPX, you need to now have a Linux appliance and you need to install the Docker engine on it. So it's
Okay.
a lot of hassle. And the encryption key is only 512. So that is why we also don't use it because the encryption key is very less.
Okay.
And this is BLX. This is your bare metal Linux virtual appliance.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And you can have your platform license. This is for the physical appliance that will enable all the features. Okay, your SSL also and your what VPN connections. You can buy the bus pack. You have an option license. That means you can buy this license and open a certain feature. But I think now this licensing they have changed it totally. It's based on
Okay.
the flex licensing now.
All right.
Okay.
But what's the latest? I don't know. I am not sure. I thought somebody mentioned like Citrix is now obsolete, or like are they not having a new updated model or something? Or
We already have it.
Mhm.
Citrix is not obsolete. Citrix has been acquired by TIPCO, the
Okay.
cloud company, cloud group, cloud software group, CSG.
Okay.
It is not obsolete. Yeah, They just take a, and they've just taken out the 14th version of it.
All right. Clear. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these are your deployment scenarios where you have the router, the ADC, and the switch. So the router communicates to the ADC, ADC to the switch, and communicates with your host, your virtual host, and your host, multiple, right? Or
Mhm.
if you're deciding to change your existing load balance and put the ADC, that means you are going to slowly direct the traffic to the ADC, but still keep the existing one in place, right? Just in case you see that it's not working properly, right?
Okay.
So that is why we're gonna remove it, right, sir?
Hmm.
So when you're using a displacement, this is a displacement, right? So whenever you're moving, you need to know what configurations you want to keep, what you're going to do the backup for, right? Okay.
Okay.
So only then you're gonna. It's like how you going to migrate to any other device, maybe a Windows server. You should know what you want to migrate, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So when you do the displacement, you need to know what configurations you want to replace, right?
Okay.
And which one you want to create because you don't want to have a large security gaps.
Okay.
Are we good on this?
Yeah.
And this is your file system and configuration. So forward slash is the RAM drive, right?
Okay.
Forward slash where is the partition, and forward slash flash is the partition on the SATA. And this is on the SSD. Okay.
All right. Okay.
And if you have a current configuration, it is in the memory until unless you click save. All right, then it is written in the ns.conf. It will be once you click on the save button, the configuration will be written in the ns.conf. But if you don't save it, it's running in the memory. So if you do a restart, that configuration is lost.
Right.
And then you got the root ns cdns.conf. Okay, these are your snapshots that are created. This is the current working configuration, and these are
Okay.
all the saved ones, backup ones, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a problem with the ns.conf, you can go back to the ns.conf.0. It's like a snapshot.
Hmm.
And this is where your configurations files are stored, nsconfig. All right, this is the files, the configuration files that are stored. When you go to nsconfig license, all the license files are stored there. When you go to nsconfig SSL, all your SSL certificates are stored there. And once you create nsconfig monitors, all the monitors will be stored in that folder, right?
Okay.
Are we good, sir?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the initial setup. Okay. All right. So have you done the initial setup before?
No.
You have not done.
Yes.
What exactly is your job role there?
So, like I said, see, for now, I'm more on the application side, and I've been managing the core services, AD, Exchange, SharePoint, and all of these, even other applications that we have in our environment. I
Hmm.
haven't directly been working on load balancer, but yeah, this is expected to be added on to me as an additional responsibility. So
Okay.
maybe anytime soon we will be implementing a new, because we had like kind of restructuring at work. So uh, I'm working under the corporate division, so they're segregating tasks between, or the roles between operations and corporate. So
Right.
probably we'll be re-implementing a new load balancer and moving all our corporate related services onto it. So
So,
yes, I think I'll have to deal with this, but I haven't done it so far.
okay. Good. So this is where you're gonna get into the. I will show you using the GUI. Okay, when I do the demo.
Okay.
All right. Where I'm going to create all the NSIP. We're gonna create a SNIP right here. I'm gonna configure this as NSIP. Okay. I'm gonna configure subnet IP. I'll enter all the DNS names and upload the license file. Right. I can do this using the CLI also.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I can also do it using the CLI. So or the GUI. So I will do use the GUI to show you, right? Okay. If you go with the
Sorry.
CLI, this is how you're gonna be doing all that
Okay.
CLI commands.
Yeah. Just a question here. You'll be sharing all of these PPTs with me, right?
I'll show you the PDFs. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Okay. And if you go into the NetScaler, then you can just type in config NS and start configuring the NS from the options right here. Yeah.
Right.
So this is where your ADC configuration you can do, but either from this um menu from the NetScaler, this is the NetScaler menu, or you can use the putty and log on to the putty, or open the
Correct.
putty and go to your NetScaler, and then you set all these parameters.
Right. Okay.
All right, or you can do the one that the GUI. So it's entirely up to you which one you're comfortable with, right? But I'll show you on the GUI how I'm going to set it up, right?
Okay.
So if you have a problem knowing the commands, all you can just do is help add DNS name server. So it will tell you the usage and the synopsis, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And this is our backup and restore. So you can do the backup. So whenever you've done the configuration, you can do the backup. Are we good,
Right.
sir?
Yes.
So now I'll just show you a demo for this first lab, right? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we can continue from there, right, sir? Okay. So I'll just
Mm-hmm.
open my lab. I'm just gonna show you the demo right here. And if you're planning to write the exam, please write it after 3 months because
Why is that?
exam is getting updated.
Okay. So, but usually, when it's about to update, people want to, do it before it updates.
No, I would say do it because they will not consider the old one.
Okay. Okay.
and
Uh,
that's the biggest mistake people make,
okay.
because
Uh,
after they do it on the old one, then they say, oh, you need to upgrade yourself to the new one.
right. Yes.
So don't make that mistake. That's what I'm saying. Do it after 3 months, or after March.
Okay. Okay. If you could also, yeah, I don't know if you will be covering that, a brief about the certification levels.
I will tell you on the last day before
Yeah.
we go off, right?
All right. Okay.
Right now, I just want you to concentrate on this one so that you don't have a mixed things mixed up.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna log in. So don't worry about where I've hosted it. Okay, you just need to know how you're gonna access the Netscaler, right?
Okay.
This is my Hyper-V actually on my Windows server. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and access this. Are you able to see the lab?
That's. I see your screen, but you're on the browser currently.
Yeah, you can see the screen,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes. It's visible.
So I'm gonna enter the default IP, which is 192.168.100.1. This is the default IP of any new ADC. Okay,
Okay.
NS root and NS root,
Hmm.
depending on what this is the default password. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the NSIP to.
Yeah.
You are also going to change the NSIP to your organization network, right? For example, I'm going to change this to
Hmm.
10.101, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to leave the subnet as it is, and I'm not going to change the administrator password, but you should change it in the production.
Yes.
And I'm going to save it. Just going to reboot. And just to show you what VMs I have
Hmm.
in my Hyper-V, I have the ADC 1 and 2, that is my application AD NetScaler application delivery controller. I have the Active Directory 1 and 2. I have the SQL servers. I have my web servers, blue, green, and red. And I have another remote ADC that I will not use in this one, and a router, web router, just to communicate to the different branch, right?
Okay.
And if you see, this ADC is running on Linux. Well, every firewall runs on Linux. So once this is booted up, I'm gonna access my ADC using the new IP that I created, right?
Okay.
192.168.10.101. And I'm gonna log in, right, sir?
Okay.
The next I'm gonna do is change the subnet IP. I can do create a subnet IP later, but I will just create it initially now, right?
Okay.
192.168.10.111. Okay, and I will just save this. And I will add my DNS server, which is on 30.11. Okay, 192.168.30.11. This is where I'm going to give my. Now remember, you need to have your host name created in the ADC also, in your Active Directory. Okay.
Host name for the ADC, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
It
Like,
uses AAA, right?
not sure.
So whenever you create a VM or a machine to the domain, it uses a host name, right?
Yes.
AAA or 4As, right?
Okay.
So make sure that you have that in your DNS server.
No, I didn't get the AAA or 4A part. Any virtual machine, it's, if anything is joined
Any
to the
virtual
domain,
or
will
physical
have a host
machine,
name.
hold on, any virtual or physical machine that you have should
Yeah.
have a DNS record.
Correct.
Okay. For example, this is my Active Directory server.
Yeah.
So if I go to your DNS right here, you'll see. So these are all my, see this one here,
Hmm.
ADC, right? ADS, all these are the host records.
Yeah, for the virtual machine.
Yeah, not just virtual machine, any machine, whether virtual or physical, okay?
Okay. Yes,
Or
yes.
anyone that is domain joined.
Yeah.
All right, so it has to be created here, right?
Okay.
Okay, and I will put my DNS server 192.168.30.11, and I will add my second DNS server, which is 192.168.30.12. I'll put the NTP server. You need to have a network time protocol server as well,
Right.
which is also on my DNS server or my Active Directory. So if you are using a separate one, you can specify it right here, yeah. And I'll say done.
Okay.
And this is where I have my license. There are two things that, if you see, I have a WinSCP. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm going to connect to my ADC. If you see my ADC right here, now this is under root. Remember, I said you're gonna save all your configurations are saved here under nsconfig, right? This config files, right, sir?
Correct.
Okay, these are all your config files. This is the current one, right? And whatever SSL certificates you're gonna put, they will be under here, under SSL. Okay. And if you want to upload a license, you just go to nsconfig license, right? All I'm gonna do is just drag the license there. That's it. My license file is uploaded in the Netscaler.
Okay.
You could do it this way, or you can just go here and you can browse. You can add a new license and browse for the license, right?
Right.
So I've just done that using the WinSCP, and just say continue, and there you go. If I show you the license, yes, system license. It has not uploaded yet, so I will just go and manage license and upload it again. I'm going to upload the license, browse it. I have everything under resources. ADC licenses, I will upload it from there. You'll go to wherever your license files are stored, okay? And I'll
Okay.
so once this comes up, I'll log in, and now because you remember we have added the NTP server, right? We
Okay.
need,
Yeah.
we need to
Yes.
activate it.
Perfect.
We need to activate it, and we need to set the preferred one, right? Okay.
Okay.
And also, as I said, this is your router also. I will now add the routing as well, right?
Okay.
Okay, so that will help you to understand that why there's a route that we have added. So I'll log in NS root. I'll just put this again. Sometimes it just goes away. 192.168.10.111. Continue. So you see now it's a platinum license and you got all the features, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, and what I need to do is add a route, right? So I will go under system and you will see under network, system network, and when you scroll down, you will see route. So you can add your routing as in how you want it for your environment, right?
Okay.
So this is the default route that has been created permanent by default. Okay, I am going to add one more route that is going to go to n from any IP to any IP, right?
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, in production, you should be specific in the routes. Okay, and you give me the gateway, which is going to be your 192.168.10.254, whichever gateway that you are using in your environment, right? Okay,
Okay.
and this
So
is your
the so
that
the
you
gateway in this case it would be uh, the exit point from the load
yes,
balance.
yes, and I'll just create it. But if you have specified specific IP routing, then you can choose either your OSPF, RIP, IS, BGP, right? Okay.
Okay.
But here I will not do that. I'll just create. So if you see under routes, I've created this route. These two were created by default. And if I go under IP addresses, you will see the Netscaler IP and the subnet IP that I just created, right?
Right.
And if I want to enable my NTP server, I will just go to NTP servers. If you remember, I added it. So I will
Mm-hmm.
just select one of them and go to actions and I will say NTP synchronization and I will say enable. This is good because you have to have your Netscaler in sync with the time. Because if you're not going to have it, then your other country timings will not match, and migration and other configuration errors sync will be having an error, right?
Yeah.
So I will edit this and make it as my preferred NTP server.
Okay.
and enable that. That's it. And there's a little floppy disk that you can click on and say save. So we have saved your configuration, right? Okay.
Okay.
If you wanted to change the times, you can change the times right here. And how would you do a backup? And if you want to enable some features, you just go to set system settings and say configure basic features. You can enable the SSL offloading, load balancing, content filter, rewrite, okay, HTTP compression, and content switching. So these are the features, basic features that you can enable, right? Okay. You can do authorization and auditing later on. Once we proceed with other modules, you will see that I will enable Citrix Gateway also. Okay.
Okay.
Click OK here, and if you see under Advanced, you will see you have search protection, priority queuing, cache redirection, web logging, RIP routing, IPv6 protocol, edge site, app flow, app quality of experience, video optimization, reputations, forward proxy, adaptive TCP. So these are all your other features that you can include. BGP, OSPF. This is where you can enable your global server load balancing, DOS protection, RDP proxy, URL filtering, SSL interception. You can all do right here. I'll enable responder as well because my ADC will work as a responder as well. All I'm gonna do is go and save. So this is how you do the initial setup.
All right.
Are we good, sir?
Yep.
So this was the first module of in getting started with ADC. Let me know if you have any questions on this.
No, we're good. It's clear.
All right. So do you want to have a 10 minutes break before I start the next module?
So I believe we are just 1.5 hour past, right? Like how many breaks are we planning to take?
Just one.
Just once? Okay.
It's a
Okay.
4 hour training. It's gonna be one break.
All right. Okay. Okay. No worries. The thing is, at my end, it's like 8:30 p.m. I haven't taken my dinner, so no worries. We'll continue.
Okay,
Let's
tell
take
me.
a break.
Uh,
Sorry.
how long? Okay, tell me how long you will take to eat the dinner.
Uh, 15 minutes should be fine. But since today is, it's like weekend for us. I've been home,
I know.
but I got busy with other
So I'll
things
give
here.
you 20 minutes. Is that fine?
Yeah, but not now. Let's continue now.
Okay,
Maybe let's say uh, half an hour or 45 minutes later. Let's take a break then, if that's okay with you.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will start with the next module, right?
Yes, please.
So this is just going to be basic getting started with the networking part of it, right?
Okay.
So what we're going to do in this, let's look at your OSI model, right?
Hmm.
So this is your OSI model. If you see what happens here, right?
Yeah.
So you were asking me why is it on the layer 7?
Hmm.
Because on layer 7, as I said, it is supporting application, it is supporting your end user processes, it is communicating with all the backend servers or partners, right?
Okay.
You want to answer the call?
Sorry.
Do you want to answer that call? I think you
No,
did.
no,
Okay.
no. We can continue.
Okay. And all the quality of services is identified, and all user authentication and privacies, they will be on layer 7, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the layer that is giving you application service for your file transfer, emails, and your other software services as well, right? Including telnet, FTP, right? So this is why we say that the next level from layer 4 to layer 7.
Yeah. Sorry, I need to take this call.
Okay.
Just yeah. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah.
So this is where your application happens and your presentation, right? This is representing the data. That is all your encryption, translation of from the application to network format, right? And from network to application format. This is where that presentation happens, right, sir? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is your session layer where it is managing and terminating, establishing the connections between the. All right. And
Okay.
this is the transport layer. This is where it is providing the transfer of data between the system and also responsible for end-to-end recovery, error recovery, and flows. This is where all your routers and everything is sitting, right?
Okay.
Layer three, it is your network layer. This is where all your switching is happening, switching, right?
Yes.
Okay, it is creating all your virtual logical paths, virtual circuits to transmit the data from node to node. Okay, and this is your data link layer, layer 2, that is having all your Wi-Fi and Ethernet, everything, right?
Yes.
And the last one is the uh, physical, where it is basically uh, sending your that uh, pulses, electrical pulse or radio signal, right, to through the network.
Okay.
So that is why they said they are using layer 7 application, because every application works on layer 7. And
Mm-hmm.
our NetScaler works from the core functionalities from layer 4 to layer 7, but it can also work from, it can work as a network device as well.
All right.
Okay,
Yep.
so this is how your NetScaler works, from the client to the virtual IP, and from the SNIP to the backend server, right?
Okay.
Okay, and we already discussed this in the one note, ADC owned IP, which are your subnet IP, virtual IP, mapped IP, GSLB IP, cluster IP. Mapped IP is old; it is already deprecated. This is going to be used if you are using old network cards, okay, and
Okay.
or your old servers, okay.
All right.
And why we use the virtual IP? Now I'm going to look into each one of them. Virtual IP is the one that is communicating from the client to the ADC, right?
Okay.
This one, the client to the ADC. This is the virtual IP, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So this is between the client and the ADC. Then you got the subnet IP, which is communicating, which is functioning like a proxy, okay, from the ADC or by the ADC to your server, right? The backend. So this is functioning, as I said, this works as a proxy. So the subnet IP communicates to the backend servers, right?
Okay.
And these are binded or can be bound to your VLANs, and it can monitor the health of the servers because I have binded the monitors as well to it, right? Right here. So it will know which server is up, which server is down, right?
Sorry, we'll know.
Because I've binded the monitor, it will know which services are up and which services are down.
Okay, okay,
And this is the configure modes where if you want to use subnet IP, it is enabled by default.
okay.
So if you want to enable layer 2 mode, you can just come here and enable layer 2 mode. That means it will work as a bridge. That
Right.
means from the user, there's your ADC and there's your server. So the whatever connection is coming from the user to the ADC will just pass it through to the backend server. This is why we use the bridging because the server would want to know the source IP where the request is coming from. Some applications require that. Yes,
Yeah.
so that is why you can enable that bridge. All right. Otherwise, this is where you can enable the use source IP. But the problem with this is use source IP is think of the performance. All right.
Mhm.
Okay. So you will not be able to do search protection here. Your if you use source IP, you need to do a routing in your environment to all your servers response, right? Your all the traffic will be bound to the client IP address. So the best way would be just to use a IP address in the cookie. So you insert the cookie in the header, HTTP header.
There'll be, come again, please. There'll be cookie in the header. I didn't get you.
If you use the use source IP, okay,
Yes.
there will be some performance issues that you need to consider. All right.
Okay.
Because one, you cannot use the multiplexing because multiplexing can only be used for connections that are coming from the same client IP address. Your search
Okay.
protection is not available or is unable to function in this, right? Your use source IP also requires the routing in your environment to all the server responses traffic that are binded to that client IP address. Okay, in the from the ADC. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can enable the use source IP globally or at a virtual server level. It can support your version 4 to version 6 for your load balancing. But the best way is to create a cookie and insert that client IP address in the header using the cookie. So
Okay.
you can take full advantage of the NetScaler. But if you
Okay.
enable the use source IP, you will not take full advantage of the NetScaler.
Let's see. Okay.
And you should only use it when required.
Mm-hmm.
And it will limit the functionality of the ADC. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I just remember now we had something to do something called the X forwarder or the client IP configured in the headers for capturing client connections.
Right.
Is this what this is related to?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So this
Okay.
is where you can use your use IP, right, sir?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can decide which topology are you using. This is one arm. We normally use two arm. Basically, the client forwards coming via the switch to the ADC. ADC does all the policies and sends it to the server, right? Server will respond back to the ADC. ADC will evaluate, do all the policies, and forward that to the switch, and from the switch to the client. This is two arm, and normally we use this in all our data centers, right?
Okay.
One arm is the client is sending the request to the switch. Switch will forward it to the uh, ADC. ADC will do the policies and send it back to the switch, and then the switch will send the request to the server then, and then server will respond to back to the switch. Switch will again forward it to the ADC. ADC will forward it again to the switch and then switch to the client. So one arm we don't use that much until unless you want to use it for your testing and POCs. Okay.
Okay.
So this
I
is
had a question about that thing. I just remembered, like I said, at some point we were doing this activity back at work to include the X forwarder in the IIS configuration, and it had something to do from the load balancer side to be able to capture the actual client IP that is connecting, because otherwise we were seeing the load balancer virtual IP in the logs.
say it again. I didn't get. You have an X
Yeah.
forwarder.
So basically, what happened was because OVA was published through load balancer, the Exchange
Mhm.
OVA service, and when we would configure advanced logs on IIS on the Exchange server,
Right.
we would see the load balancer IP appearing inside the logs, not the actual end user who tried to log in.
Okay.
So I believe there was some configuration related to X forwarder. Uh, we had to add some attributes on the
Yes.
IIS side. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
not sure about the configuration on the load balancer side. After which, sometimes we were getting IPs of the client machines if they were on the network.
Right.
But if they were coming from public, like from internet, it wasn't appearing. Sometimes it was working, sometimes it wasn't. So I just remembered that. So I wanted to ask, like, will we be covering these kind of scenarios? I mean, like, or
No, no. We am just covering about everything about the NetScaler only.
okay,
Yeah. So problem with one arm, you can only use a single VLAN. Okay.
okay,
And if you want to have more bandwidth, then you have to create link aggregation on your host
mm-hmm.
because you will need the link aggregation. It cannot support multiple ports.
Okay,
Right? That is why we use multiple VLAN. And also, if you see here, I only have one port doing both incoming and outgoing, right? Okay.
okay, okay,
But in the two arm, I have one port facing the outside network and another port facing the inside network
yes,
in the two arm, right? So, and we use this because this is where you're gonna have your from your layer three all the way, and you can use layer two bridged if you only have one subnet and you want to use it the ADC as the bridging. So, and this is most common deployment that we use in our scenarios in any, even in this small setup, right?
okay,
Okay. So that is what we use right here. And then you can create your VLANs, right? So if you're using VLAN if you're using a Hyper-V, you need to create on your Hyper-V, you need to have multiple network cards, right? That you can
yeah,
virtualize and then you can attach it to your ADC, right? Okay. But
mm-hmm.
in the physical box, you might have all the Ethernet ports. Then you just have to select the Ethernet port, right?
Okay,
So, but in the virtual appliance on the host, you have to create the network cards, and then you have to attach it to the ADC,
mm-hmm.
and you have to create the VLANs and make sure those VLANs are attached to your network card, and network card is attached to the correct VLAN port on the switch.
Okay,
And this is where we have remember I said your ADC is functioning like a TCP proxy, right?
yes,
Where the client is connected to the WIP, and from the WIP it goes to the SNIP, and from the SNIP to your backend server, right?
okay.
Are we good, sir, so far? Any questions, queries, anything?
Uh, yeah, I don't remember the exact scenario, but at some point we faced some issue, and then after a lot of investigation, we came to know it had something to do with the SNIP. So, so basically, what is the SNIP here? It's, I mean, to
The
now that I
subnet.
see, it's just the subnet IP that is being assigned for the whole of the ADC, right? I mean, it's going to be
While I can have multiple SNIPs, it is just
okay,
for that particular network.
okay, okay,
Okay. I can just add, I can have multiple SNIPs, and multiple SNIPs, I can create multiple whips, and I can bind those whips to those particular SNIPs, because your Exchange server can be on a different subnet, your
yeah,
your application server can be on a different subnet.
correct. So SNIP should match the server subnet. Is it something
Yes,
like that?
yes.
Okay, okay. So for all the different subnets that we have in our network, I mean, at
Yeah,
least
and remember, you need to create a route also then.
okay, right,
You need to add a route, because you're gonna now be very specific that this particular IP range from this subnet should go to that subnet in that particular mask, right?
okay, clear.
Right now, if you see, I've just added 0.0.0, right?
Yeah, yeah, right.
That
So
is for
that
any
is like
subnet,
any to any.
any okay, to my subnet. But in the production, you're gonna specify the routing.
Yes. So how's the load balancer? I mean, I had a question like it appears the load balancer is doing partial job of a router, and also maybe there are some features
Now, see,
like
don't say,
firewall for
hold
blocking
on,
some
hold on, hold on,
access.
hold on, hold on. First of all, don't say the ADC is a load balancer. ADC is an application delivery controller, okay,
All right.
which has the feature of load balancing, which is a full feature of load balancing, full feature of content switching, full feature of routing with specific routing protocols.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. So it's the specific set of routing
yeah,
protocols.
like I've just shown you OSPF, BGP, ISIS, RIP, right?
Right. Right.
Those are some of them. Now, if you want to do the routing, then you can go with the actual routing devices like Cisco,
Okay.
and then you point the ADC to that router.
Right.
Have we got some?
Yeah.
All right, and this is gonna be your routing here. So it can support both your dynamic and static routing, right? You can have a simple routing, which is not the main role of the ADC. The whole objective of the ADC is to run dynamic routing protocols and also to enable route health injections, RHI. Okay,
Okay.
so that it can see the upstream router can choose the best route based in your topology, right? Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it can also create backup static routes in case your primary routes fails. All right.
Okay.
So you
All
can
right.
create a backup one in case your primary one fails. So the dynamic routing protocols, okay, that it can have, it's your RIP version 2, OSPA version 2, your BGP. Okay. It can
Okay.
also have your RIPNG and your
Mhm.
OSPF version 3 for IPv6.
Okay.
So it can support routing information protocol RIP version 2. It can support open shortest path first OSPF version 2. It supports border gateway protocol BGP, and it can support routing information protocol next generation RIPNG for IPv6, and OSPF version 3 for IP version 6, and also it can support ISIS protocol, right?
Okay.
So if you see here, remember when I added this route, you can add your protocols from here, all of them, if you want.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and these are your static route, and you can monitor. Click on this and say monitor the static route. That means If you have created your static route and your route goes down and you don't have a backup, okay, uh, then everything goes down. And also, if you have a backup route, that backup route is not activated automatically. You will have to do the changeover, right?
Okay.
And then we got your ACL. You can create a simple access control list. All right. You can filter the IP traffic and secure your network from unauthorized access. So you can create an ACL set here with the conditions, right?
Yeah.
So you have a simple ACL, no match found, extend the ACL, bridge the packet. If it is there, allow the packet. If you have a deny, you can drop the packet, right? So
Hmm.
basically, just to allow access. Maybe, for example, if I tell you that you have a finance department that do not want to allow its resources to be accessed by any other department, let's say, for example, HR and documentation, right? So you can restrict those departments with the access.
Okay.
All right. That
Yeah.
is what we have the ACL for. And then you got the net. So if you got 40 any other firewall in front, let's say Fortinet or F5 or something, and ADC behind, then you can have a netting between the two. You have to do a netting between the two, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you'll have your net that basically you need to enable the net on your appliance just to have more security for your private network, right?
Okay.
Any questions on this?
Um, yeah, I'm like, some of these terminologies I'm aware about, but like, just a question about the course. I mean, like, in the coming days, will we be like doing a sample setup? Just to understand, like,
Do you have that environment?
no, I don't have any environment, but speaking in terms of like doing the netting, like, just to get a
See, netting,
idea. Yeah.
this is just an overview of the ATC. Netting is not part of this. Netting is part of the other course, the professional level.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This one will be just doing the basic because this is just an administrative course, which is an associate level course, right? Is not
Right.
a is not a professional level course.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Clear.
And then you can do an inbound network address translation where you can create an iNet, okay, that is going to translate all your public IP to the backend, right?
Right.
So you can use IPv4 to IPv4, IPv4 to IPv6, IPv6 to IPv4, IPv6 to IPv6. Those are supported right here.
Okay.
Okay, and then you also got the reverse net. All right, so you can do the reverse net also, where the server is sending the data through the RNet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and your RNet supports FTP, so you can do a reverse net as well from the ADC.
Okay.
All right, so
Yep.
this was module two. So all I'm gonna do in the demo now, I'm gonna show you how I'm going to enable and bind the subnet IP with the VLAN, right?
Okay.
The very small labs, and we'll be done with that. You guys are working tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Maybe ask your guy company if you have a test environment.
Mm, okay, I'll check it out. But since I'm not from the same team,
Yeah,
it's
no, it's
difficult.
fine. Or just ask them to give you the VPX image or the hard drive that they downloaded.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have the server, good enough resource with the server?
No, not even that. So,
Okay, so I'm gonna access this and just do a basic. Uh, I'm just gonna add. I've already because I'm using only one VLAN, so I mean one interface, right? I'm
mhm.
just gonna create a VLAN and bind it to that interface.
Okay.
So first, I'll create a virtual IP first, right? I'll go to
Okay.
the system, network IP, and I'm going to add an IP, and I'm going to give any IP 172.21.10.101, and I'm going to select the mask. This is the front facing, right?
Okay.
And this I'll change it to virtual IP. Okay, and I'll just create it. Now, because I've created it under network again, I'll just go to the VLANs. As you see, I already have only one interface, right?
Yeah.
I'll just add one VLAN and give it a VLAN ID. Okay, and once I create the VLAN ID, and I'm going to go on and I'm going to select this interface one of one. So when you create multiple VLANs and you have multiple interfaces, it will be all listed here. Then you select the right one for the right network. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to the IP binding. You see that my subnet is already binded, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I will just select my virtual IP also, and I'll just say create. So basically, my virtual IP is now going to communicate directly to the SNIP, right? And I'll
Okay.
create that. And that's basically I'm going to do. Okay. One, that is done. And then I'm going to enable MAC based forwarding. So I'll go to the system settings, configure modes, and enable MAC based forwarding. Okay.
Okay.
So based on the MAC base, even on the MAC addresses, it will forward the packet. And I'll just go and just basically save it. That's it. So now my router, my ADC is ready with the basic settings.
Okay.
Okay. So this is all I have for the module number 2. So if you want to check on your net, you can go to network.net, okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
and you can create your RNet, okay, iNet, net right here, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, sir. So that's all I have for module number 2.
Hmm.
Let me know if you have questions, or
Uh, yeah.
I'll give you some break.
Okay.
20 minutes is good.
Uh, can you give me 2 minutes? I'll just check and get back to you.
Sure.
1 minute.